Hello again. My lesson here today is 100% Torah. And the idea is that the Torah must be 100% correct, they tell us. And if there is even one line in the Torah that is incorrect, like not factually true in our world, for instance, science shows it to be incorrect, or along theological lines, there is a clear theological contradiction in the Torah, like one prophet saying one thing about God, for example, and then another prophet saying something contradictory about God that make the two prophets not be, like they just wouldn't be correct, both of them. Only one could be correct. Then what we're having there is a situation where the Torah then would not be 100% correct. And if there's any such contradiction or incorrectness, then the Torah itself is not of God. This is what we are taught by people who teach the Torah. So if the Torah is just like 97% correct, it is not of God, because Torah has to be correct. Now, the clever Torah teacher will get around this by this problem, if it should be ever found that it's incorrect, or all the complaints that people have when they say history doesn't match what's shown there, or whatever they say. They have this already worked out from the start by saying to you, this is not the original copy, we don't have the original, we can't find it, but we're still digging. So if you ever find anything wrong, even though they beat their chest today and they're winning many arguments, if you ever find anything wrong, they'll say, well, like we've always said, this is not the original copy, but when we find the original copy, it will speak on this or that matter and it will be clarified. So that way they can go on teaching that the Torah is of God and it's 100% correct, but you just don't understand it, or we just haven't found the original copy yet, which will have all the corrections in it. I'm going to expose that right now as another religious trick of the Torah and of religion in general. We are taught that Moses got the oral Torah at Sinai, and you need the written Torah, but you also need the oral Torah, and they agree because God spoke just like he wrote, and he would not have been given contradictory stuff in the Torah. So the oral Torah matches the written Torah. But I think when you think of it some more, you understand that the oral Torah, when you understand it, will give more clarification of the written Torah. So while on one hand we're expected to understand that both oral and written Torah are the same, it seems that the oral Torah is above the written Torah because it makes you understand more the written Torah, because when you don't understand, for example, the dietary law or some other kind of law, you'll hear, well, it's because you don't have the oral Torah. So anybody who has the oral Torah has an advantage over people like yourself and myself who only have the written Torah. We have a quote-unquote bad copy because it's a written Torah which is not the original and may have some mistakes in it, although they probably wouldn't say it like that it has mistakes, because they still want to, but if you have the Hebrew, then you have the correct Torah, which is copied very well and just moved all over the earth. It's just the same. But if you have it like in English, like in the King James Version, you don't have the real deal because it's not the Hebrew. So, you're behind where truth is concerned because you don't have it in the Hebrew, a Hebrew copy of the Torah. But the oral Torah seems to be more powerful, or at least the same as the true written Torah. Here is the problem. Why are people walking around with a written Torah that is a problem? Because it is not the original that they have not yet found. If you have the oral Torah, which is the same or more powerful than the written Torah, while you are spending all your money and resources and time and manpower trying to find and dig up the original copy of the written Torah, you would not lack in any way the truth or the original truth of Sinai and of Yahweh, if since, as you claim, you have the oral Torah that was given to Moses and passed down from generation to generation to the children of Israel, who are now in the land of Israel, and a few of them scattered in different countries and so on, but they're being gathered back. And then you get the black Hebrews who are saying it's theirs as well, but apparently only the white Israelites who are now in Israel have the oral Torah, it seems. Why not, since you have the oral Torah that was passed down from generation to generation from Moses, just write a copy of the oral Torah that's been passed down, so that you now have a correct and full-bodied copy of the written Torah that will be even above the Dead Sea Scrolls, that would not be complete, probably, since it is not the original. Just simply write a copy, a written copy of the oral Torah, so that all the world can see it and verify exactly what was given to Moses at Sinai. Once we now have that written copy, written, for example, in 2018, written from the oral Torah, then problem solved. And when you do find the original copy, when you dig it up in the future, and you say, whoa, we found it, then we can say, okay, we'll just frame it up in a museum, but we don't really need it because we already have the written copy of the verified oral Torah that has been passed down unbroken from generation to generation from Moses. See, and problem solved. You can save money digging and searching, because the oral Torah, we have that. And we know, according to the teaching, the oral Torah is the true Torah, because every time you argue about the Torah from the paper or written one, and something doesn't seem to make sense, then you hear the word, well, it's because you're using the written Torah, and worse than that, you're using it in English from like the KJV or so. But we are the children of Israel, we are the Jews, and we have the oral Torah, so we're correcting you. This is what it says. So since you're always, as a Jewish rabbi, correcting everyone else, because you've got the oral Torah and you are well trained for many, many years, based on the Talmud, the written Torah, and the oral Torah, and other writings that you have, Mishnah and everything else, just simply write a copy so that the rest of the world can see it, and that will shut up every atheist and every doubting person on earth who's trying to verify the Torah or put it down. Either they want to put it down because they don't believe in God, or they just want to, just give us a copy of the writing out of the oral Torah. That's all I'm saying. Because right now it looks like whatever written one we've got is less than 100%, but the Torah should be 100%. So since we have a 100% oral Torah that's still intact, being passed down from generation to generation, but the written copy is not 100%, so it's not up to par, what's stopping us from getting a written copy of the 100% correct oral Torah? Then God would be verified, finally, with the magical words printed for all to see and to check it out word by word, as it was written from the 100% correct oral Torah.